Hi everyone, this is Niki Rowland and today I am making a layout for Hip Kit Club. I'm playing along with Challenge Friday, so I'm using the April kits and I'm playing along with this recipe challenge, which is to use a rainbow, flowers, stitching and chipboard. And the design team have two extra challenges. One is to use a white background and the second one is to include a summer theme. Well, it's not summer here in the UK just yet. We are still very much in spring and sometimes we have lovely weather at this time of year, and but not this year. This year has been awful. I have a spring photo. It was taken in April and it's not overly summery, but it was one of the nicest days of weather we've had for a while, and we haven't had anything so good since. This was a trip out to a farm, and my two children, I have three, but one wouldn't pose. These two together are posing on top of a hay bale and having a lovely time. So that's as summery as I'm getting today. More spring, you know, the summer layouts will have to come when the sun's out. Okay, so as I say, we were supposed to use a white cardstock background, so that's what I'm doing. However, I'm cheating slightly because I do want to incorporate this really beautiful paper onto my background. So I have cut a large block, it's 8 by 12, and I've cut it into smaller squares. So I've cut, in theory, they should be 4 by 4, but I want to leave a gap in between the squares. So I've trimmed it down slightly on either side, and then I end up with this kind of grid effect and this scene in the background. So I just love this scene. It's just really lovely. It's got like a chicken coop. It's got a little deer. It's got like a farmhouse. It's got trees, got bunnies hopping. It's just lovely. It was and a greenhouse. It's a really, really lovely scene. And I just wanted to feature some of it onto the layout. Using it as a full background would have been quite challenging. So I decided to cut it up and use it in a grid style in this way. I am just trying to work out what I'm going to include on this layout. So I have one photo and I'm going through and I'm making sure that I pull out all of the elements I need to use for this week's recipe challenge. I need to include a rainbow. So I've pulled out a rainbow there. That is from the Bunnies and Blooms ephemera pack. And then I need to use flowers. So I've pulled out some chipboards from the Maggie Holmes Garden Party collection. And I've pulled out a few of those. They're just kind of all sitting in a big collection at the moment on the layout. And then I've got to do stitching, which is fine. I'm going to stitch around all the squares. I need to use chipboard. So I've kind of done that already by pulling out chipboard flowers. So I've got flowers and chipboard in one. But I've pulled out a number of other chipboards to use as well. So a lot of different things. So I'm just spending a bit of time. I've got my background tacked in place but not stuck properly. And I've got all my little elements I'd like to include on this layout, but I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to arrange them all, what they're going to look like. So I'm just spending some time playing around. Nothing is stuck. I'm just moving stuff around. I definitely want my photo on a cross on the grid. It kind of draws your eye to it. So I'm definitely going to go for the photo there. I'm not sure about the cluster at the top right. I'm thinking that I might move that over a little bit more. Not quite sure. I like the cluster at the bottom. Okay, this is I've skipped forward here and you can see that I have stitched the squares of all of my background just with my sewing machine and a white thread, and then I've like roughed up the edges and folded them up a bit as well. So we've got some good texture and dimension going on there. And I've stuck all of my embellishments in place. So you see that I did actually manage to move that cluster from the top towards the photo. So it became part of the main photo cluster. I just love that little chipboard frame that says, "Look at you grow." I've also got a little chipboard house in blue. Now I'm adding the words "lovely" for my title. So that is from the Maggie Holmes sticker sheet. and it just says lovely. So I've stuck that on with foam pads so that it has some dimension, and also so that it can go over several layers that are different heights. So the foam pads help me with that. And then over on the left-hand side, I've got the chipboard frame underneath the photo. I've mounted the photo on the black and white Maggie Holmes Garden Party paper. I love the little banner phrase that says "Pink skies ahead." I've got plenty of florals around the photo itself, a butterfly. Down at the bottom, I've got the rainbow ephemera that I pulled out, so that's that challenge criteria ticked. I've also included a chicken. I love that chicken. She's from the Garden Party collection, and she was ideal because these photos are taken at a farm and we fed the chickens, so that works really well. And it's chipboard, so that's another criteria ticked. So I think I've included all of the criteria that I was supposed to for this recipe challenge now. So I've definitely got a rainbow, I've definitely got flowers, I've definitely got stitching, and I've definitely got chipboard. So I am done. I've done it. Excellent. I've also got a white background kind of, and a summer theme-ish, more spring, but we'll go with it. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I've just put in a few other flowers, just handwriting in my journaling onto the paper. It's quite a busy paper, so I just had to be careful and write on a plain part. And I'm just going to finish off with a few splatters, and that will be this layout complete. It came together really quickly. Once I'd pulled out all the bits I wanted to use, it was just a matter of arranging them onto the layout. So there we go, all finished. I hope you have enjoyed this layout. I loved making it. I love how it turns out. I loved the paper for the background. Play along with the challenge over on the Hip Kit Club group on Facebook as well. Don't forget that if you are a Hip Kit Club subscriber, you get the main kit at a reduced price, 15% discount off all add-on kits, and access to exclusive subscriber cut files. So lots of reasons to subscribe. Yeah, and play along with the challenge as well because they're good fun. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. That was Niki Rowland for Hip Kit Club.